Good day, fellow Toastmasters. This is session 3 in Pathways Basics. Today, we will learn all about how to start and complete a project on Basecamp through Pathways. Firstly, we go up to the top and log in to our Toastmasters account. Once we have logged in, we go into Education and Pathways Learning Experience. And then click on the Access Pathways, because we are talking about pathways today. Then we will access my path through Basecamp, because we're going to Basecamp. The club you pick doesn't matter today, so I'll just pick Ipswich Toastmasters Club. If you have multiple clubs, just choose whichever club you want and then go to Basecamp. Now we can go to Paths and Learning Education Transcript, as we discussed in our previous video. You can access your path in which the project is in by clicking Open Curriculum. We are choosing a leadership development path, but whichever path you have or you want to work on is the one you can choose. Once you click Open Curriculum, you'll see your path come up on you. All the different levels are here. We will choose level 1. And for today's example, we'll choose the icebreaker. However, all the paths run in the same format, so using this example will work for every project on every path in Pathways. So to start with the icebreaker, which is usually your first speech when you come into Toastmasters as a new member, or if you're starting a new path, is the icebreaker. As said here, it's the foundational project to introduce you to the Toastmasters skills and begin your Toastmaster journey. So we'll click Launch to start the icebreaker. This can take a second to load up. If it doesn't load up, let's click here. This can take a few seconds to load up, so let's have a little bit of patience. And then we start at the beginning, which is, go back. Here, the beginning, which normally where you will start, is the icebreaker project. No matter what project you do in Pathways, you'll have an introduction screen explaining the path and the level. Then you can click Begin. And then the next few screens, could be 5, could be 10 screens, depending on what project you've chosen, explain all about the path and project and everything you need to know about this project. In this case, it's the icebreaker, so it's teaching you, the new member, all about Pathways and all about speeches. It goes to the introduction, your assessment. If you are new, you can click on Printing and Resources to get a whole PDF of this if you want to print it out, but you don't have to. Also remember, when you have a screen like this where the top half goes grey, you must click the little arrow next to the directions button to close that. Then you can continue on with the side arrow as shown here. Now we come to the Assess Your Skills section. In Toastmasters, we usually have 4 different kinds of educational sessions. 4 different kinds of evaluations. The first is the evaluation in the club, spoken evaluation. Second, you also get a written evaluation. Thirdly, you get evaluation from your mentor. And fourthly, there's a self-evaluation. This is the self-evaluation, where you assess your skills before and after doing a project. I have already done this, as I've completed this project, but you can go through and click your answers. You click the answer, then go next, and keep clicking the answers next as you go through. And then when it says next, it will say underneath complete, and then you can click complete and then move on. These answers aren't kept. They're just a guide for you to see how well you feel you are before and after the speech. You know, the competencies you'll learn, if that interests you, and a few more bit of skills. Here is where you can click on the outline. We'll look at the outline. The outline here basically just goes through an example of how to do the project. It's good for new Toastmasters who aren't sure about how we should do projects or what we should put in them. It gives a rough overview of what needs to be put into the project. We keep going through, there's even more information all about the project. And then here is a project checklist, which is good again for new members, because if we click the project checklist, it tells you what you need to do with your project. For example, the icebreaker, you need to schedule the speech with your vice president education of your club, write the speech, rehearse the speech, give the speech. It's a good guide for new Toastmasters. Now we come to one of the most important pages in the project, the evaluation and resources page. Here, where it says evaluation resource, you can click on that to get the evaluation resource for the project. In most clubs, it's a good idea to print this evaluation resource out, or if you're on a Zoom club, have a digital version which you can email to your evaluator, and it goes through the evaluation so they can evaluate your speech. Usually it's the job of the speaker to give the evaluation form to the evaluator, preferably ahead of time, but sometimes that's not possible. You can print the project, which is the entire number of screens if that interests you, or you can print the outline worksheet. Now is the time where you go and do your project. You go into your club and give the speech. Once that is done, you can click next and you can do another assessment, which I've already done, go through the steps, and you see how you felt before and after your project. I thought I was 3s before and 4s after. Once you've completed the after feedback and self-evaluation, just remember at the bottom to click the little complete button. Then you can go across and it says, congratulations, you have completed your path. And if this is you completing your icebreaker, then I congratulate you on your first Toastmaster speech. Once you have completed this, you can close this window and go back to your open curriculum. There should now be a little tick on the icebreaker button to say you have done the icebreaker. Sometimes, if that doesn't happen, you might have to relaunch the project, which I will do very quickly now. And then it will say, congratulations, you've completed your path. Go back and forward. It's done. And then it should be ticked. Most of the times it works, but just a heads up, if the tick doesn't appear, then you can relaunch it to make sure it has been ticked. And that, fellow Toastmasters, is how you start, work through, and complete a project in Pathways.